Summary of the poem The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth is a poem that describes a moment of deep thought and emotional reaction to a lone woman, the Highland lass, whose song deeply touches the poet. The poem takes place in a peaceful countryside where the poet sees a young woman working alone in a field, reaping and singing. Her song, full of sadness and mystery, moves the poet emotionally and makes him think about what the song might be about. In the first part of the poem, the poet sets the scene with clear descriptions. The reaper is shown as single in the field, which means she is alone, both physically and emotionally. She is working and singing by herself, and the poet asks the reader to stop here, or gently pass, suggesting the quietness and calm of the moment. The only sound in the countryside is her song, which is full of sadness. The poet compares her song to the song of a nightingale, which symbolizes beauty and longing. This comparison shows that her song is as beautiful, if not more, than the famous nightingale's song. The second part of the poem continues this comparison, saying that her song is even more comforting to tired travelers than the songs of birds like the nightingale or the cuckoo. This makes the song seem timeless and universally beautiful, just like the sounds of nature. The poet feels a deep connection between the singer and the nature around her, and he is amazed by the purity and clarity of her voice. In the third part, the poet wonders what the song is about. He guesses that it might be about sad memories or personal pain, or maybe something more general, like sorrow or loss. The uncertainty about the meaning of the song adds to its mysterious feeling, and the poet can only guess what the song means. In the final part, the poet talks about how deeply the song affects him. He listens motionless and still, meaning the song has a powerful, almost hypnotic effect on him. The poet compares how he feels to climbing a hill, where the memory of the song stays with him long after it has stopped. The last image of the poet carrying the music in his heart shows that hearing the song has become a lasting, emotional experience for him. The poem is made up of 4 stanzas, each with 8 lines. The rhyme scheme is regular, following an abrupt pattern. This pattern makes the poem flow smoothly, giving it a musical quality that matches the song in the poem. The meter is mostly iambic tetrameter, meaning each line has 4 feet, with each foot having an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. The rhythm of the poem is steady and calm, which reflects the peaceful scene and the poet's emotional reaction to the song. The main idea of the poem is about the power of music and art to make people feel strong emotions. The Song of the Solitary Reaper represents the connection between nature, emotion, and memory. The poet is moved by the song's beauty, but also by its mysterious nature. He doesn't know what it's about, but he feels deeply connected to it. The poem also shows the difference between the world outside and what is felt inside. Even though the reaper sings alone in the field, her song stays with the poet, becoming a lasting emotional experience. The poem suggests that even simple things, like a song, can make people feel universal emotions such as sorrow, beauty, and nostalgia, no matter where or when they live. Overall, The Solitary Reaper celebrates themes common in Wordsworth's poetry, such as the beauty of nature, the power of imagination, and the deep emotions that can come from ordinary moments.
Line-by-line explanation of the poem The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth.
Line 1, Behold her, single in the field. In the opening line, the speaker directs the reader's attention to a solitary figure in the field. The use of the word behold suggests that the woman's presence is worthy of notice and admiration. It draws focus to her, creating an image of a lone figure amidst the vastness of nature. The emphasis on her solitude in the field suggests themes of isolation and independence. Line 2, Yon solitary Highland lass. The speaker further specifies that the woman is a Highland lass, a reference to a young woman from the Scottish Highlands. This adds geographical and cultural context, suggesting that she is in a rural, natural setting. The word solitary reiterates her loneliness, highlighting her separation from any social or communal interaction. Line 3, Reaping and singing by herself. Here, the woman is depicted as working alone in the field, both reaping the harvest and singing a song. The pairing of her labor with song suggests that her work is not a burden but is accompanied by a form of expression, turning her toil into an act of joy or emotional release. It also underlines her independence, as she does not need others to share in her work or music. Line 4, stop here, or gently pass. The speaker now invites the reader or listener to either stop and observe the scene or pass by gently without disturbing it. This line creates a sense of reverence for the moment. The suggestion of gentleness underscores the idea that the scene should be respected in its solitude and quiet beauty, emphasizing the peace and tranquility of the reaper's world. Line 5, alone she cuts and binds the grain. This line reinforces the woman's solitary labor. She is engaged in the work of cutting and binding the grain, actions that are typically done in fields during harvest time. The repetition of her aloneness highlights her self-sufficiency and connects the reader to her physical labor. Line 6, and sings a melancholy strain. The woman is singing as she works, but her song is described as melancholy, meaning it carries a sorrowful or wistful tone. This adds an emotional depth to the scene, suggesting that her song reflects some form of sadness or longing, contrasting with the seemingly peaceful task of reaping. Line 7, oh listen! For the vale profound. In this line, the speaker calls out to the listener to pay attention to the woman's song, urging them to listen carefully. The term vale profound suggests a deep valley, not just in a physical sense but also in a metaphorical one, indicating the emotional depth of the song. The sound of her voice is said to fill the valley, implying that it resonates deeply and is impactful. Line 8 is overflowing with the sound. The overflowing sound describes the effect of the woman's singing, which fills the valley to the point of excess. It suggests that the song is not just heard faintly but is a powerful, almost overwhelming presence in the natural environment. The image of sound overflowing suggests an abundance of emotion and expression. Line 9, no nightingale did ever chaunt. Here, the speaker compares the woman's song to that of a nightingale, a bird famously known for its beautiful and melodious song. The nightingale's song is often associated with beauty and harmony, but the speaker argues that the reaper's song is more powerful or moving. This comparison elevates the reaper's song to an extraordinary level. Line 10, more welcome notes to weary bands. The nightingale's song, while beautiful, is now deemed less powerful than the reaper's, which is described as more welcome. The reaper's song is especially comforting to weary travelers, suggesting that it offers emotional relief to those who are fatigued or burdened. The comparison with a nightingale's song highlights the emotional impact of the reaper's melody. Line 11, of travelers in some shady haunt. This line imagines travelers seeking rest in a shady spot during their journey. It evokes an image of fatigue and weariness, as the travelers are described as needing comfort. The shady haunt provides them with a place to recover from the heat or exertion of their travels, setting the stage for the reaper's song to provide solace. Line 12, among Arabian sands. The setting is now exoticized, with the mention of Arabian sands, invoking a vast desert landscape. The distance and foreignness of this location amplify the effect of the reaper's song, suggesting that it can reach people even in the most remote or inhospitable places, symbolizing the universal power of music to soothe the soul. Line 13, a voice so thrilling ne'er was heard. The speaker asserts that the reaper's voice is so compelling that it surpasses anything previously heard. The use of thrilling indicates that the song stirs deep emotions in the listener, suggesting that the song is not merely pleasant but emotionally profound. Line 14, in springtime from the cuckoo bird. The speaker continues by referencing the cuckoo bird, known for its call in spring. While the cuckoo's song is a familiar and expected part of the season, the reaper's song is portrayed as even more powerful, suggesting that her melody carries more emotional weight than the joyful sounds of springtime birds. Line 15, breaking the silence of the seas. This line imagines the cuckoo's song breaking the silence of the seas, but it is now overshadowed by the reaper's song. The image of silence is used to accentuate the power and uniqueness of the reaper's voice, indicating that her song has a far-reaching and profound effect, even more so than the cuckoo's springtime call. Line 16, among the farthest Hebrides. The reference to the Hebrides, a remote island group in Scotland, further emphasizes the distance and remoteness of the place where the cuckoo's song reaches. Again, the speaker is emphasizing that the reaper's song is more powerful, even surpassing the far-reaching sounds of nature itself. Line 17, will no one tell me what she sings? The speaker expresses curiosity and wonderment about the content of the reaper's song. The uncertainty about the song's theme adds an element of mystery to the poem, as the speaker is deeply affected by the melody but does not understand its meaning. Line 18, perhaps the plaintive numbers flow. The speaker begins to speculate on the possible themes of the song. The word plaintive suggests that the song expresses sadness or sorrow. The use of numbers refers to the melody or verses of the song, and the speaker imagines that the song could be about past grief or loss. Line 19, for old, unhappy, far-off things. The speaker continues to guess that the song may be about distant, unhappy events, perhaps referring to old memories, lost loves, or past tragedies. The use of far-off things suggests that the song has a historical or nostalgic quality, touching on events long past. Line 20, and battles long ago. The speaker speculates that the song may recount past battles, possibly referring to war or struggle. This adds a layer of historical depth to the song, suggesting that the reaper's song is not just about personal sorrow but also about the collective pain of human history. Line 21, or is it some more humble lay? Alternatively, the speaker wonders if the song is about something more personal and humble, rather than historical. The word humble suggests that the subject of the song could be simple, common, and relatable, such as daily life or personal sorrow. Line 22, familiar matter of today? The speaker now considers that the song might be about more contemporary or familiar concerns. This line suggests that the song could express the everyday sorrows and joys of life that are universally experienced by all. Line 23, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain. The speaker continues to speculate that the song might focus on universal themes of human suffering, such as sorrow, loss, or pain. These are emotions that everyone can relate to, making the song's subject matter deeply human and universal. Line 24, that has been, and may be again? The speaker reflects on the cyclical nature of sorrow, loss, and pain, suggesting that these emotions are not isolated events but recurring experiences that have been felt in the past and will continue to be felt in the future. Line 25, whatever the theme, the maiden sang. The speaker acknowledges that, regardless of the song's actual subject, it is clear that the reaper's singing is significant. The phrase whatever the theme suggests that the exact content of the song is less important than its emotional power. Line 26, as if her song could have no ending. The song seems endless, as if it could continue forever. This line emphasizes the profound and eternal quality of the reaper's song, suggesting that its emotional impact is timeless and boundless. Line 27, I saw her singing at her work. The speaker observes the reaper as she works and sings simultaneously. This reinforces the idea that her singing is intertwined with her labor, making her work seem more purposeful and emotionally charged. Line 28, and o'er the sickle bending. As she bends over her sickle, the reaper is physically engaged in her task while singing. This image connects the labor of the body with the emotional expression of the song, suggesting that the work itself is an extension of her inner feelings. Line 29, I listened, motionless and still. The speaker becomes completely still, absorbed in the reaper's song. His physical stillness reflects the emotional impact the song has on him, as he is captivated by the melody and its emotional resonance. Line 30, and, as I mounted up the hill. As the speaker begins to leave the scene, climbing the hill, he is physically distancing himself from the reaper and her song. However, the memory of her song continues to linger. Line 31, the music in my heart I bore. Even as the speaker leaves the scene, the song remains with him. The phrase "the music in my heart" suggests that the emotional power of the song has become a part of him, continuing to resonate within him long after it is no longer physically heard. Line 32, long after it was heard no more. This final line reinforces the lasting impact of the Reaper's song. Even though the sound of her singing has faded, its emotional effect lingers in the speaker's heart, suggesting that some experiences and emotions are unforgettable, continuing to live within us long after the moment has passed.
About the poet. William Wordsworth was born on April 7, 1770, in Cockermouth, Cumbria, England. He is widely regarded as one of the most important figures in English Romantic poetry. Wordsworth's early life was marked by personal loss, as his mother died when he was just 8, and his father passed away shortly after. These experiences deeply influenced his poetic themes of nature, memory, and emotion. Wordsworth's most famous work, Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey, exemplifies his belief in the spiritual and healing power of nature. His best-known poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, also known as Daffodils, celebrates nature's ability to uplift the human spirit. In 1798, Wordsworth published Lyrical Ballads with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a collection that marked the beginning of the Romantic movement in English literature. Wordsworth was appointed Poet Laureate in 1843 and continued to write until his death on April 23, 1850.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.